Welcome all. We have already completed 3 lessons. We are going to start our 4th lesson, that is nutrition in living organism. So the first question they have asked you, what is malnutrition? Particularly when you are in 5th standard or 6th standard, we are knowing that our body needs nutrients for the proper growth. When these nutrients are getting lacked or our body is facing lack of nutrients or deficiency of certain nutrients, that time the stage which occurs is called as malnutrition. Which are the ways to prevent malnutrition? So how we are going to prevent it? Yes, what we can do, we can take the nutrition which is lacking in our body in form of tablets or any of the food stuff. Okay, so we will start with our lesson, that is nutrition. In this particular lesson we are going to see how the nutrition is been, particularly the animals or the plants, they are getting. Okay, nutrition. What is nutrition? Some life processes go on continuously in living organism. Which are the life processes? For example, breathing, that is respiration. Yes, then is reproduction. So certain life processes are they stop at a certain age, but some life processes are continuous. Substances which are digested and assimilated for obtaining energy and for growth and health of our body is called, or they are called as foodstuff. So some substances which are digested, whatever thing you are taking in your mouth, it is getting digested and later it is getting assimilated. Assimilated means it is getting utilized in form of energy. That substances are said to be as foodstuff. The food stuff means the thing which you are eating it, then it is getting digested, and that digested one is giving out energy to us. So in form of this we are eating that particular substance is called as food stuff. We get several types of nutrients from food stuff. Now nutrients types we are knowing. Yes, they are minerals, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, proteins, etc. Nutrients can be classified into two main types. Nutrients, they are coming into main two types. The first one is macro. Macro means in large quantity and micro means small quantity. So nutrients are two types. One is macronutrients and another is micronutrients. Nutrients like carbohydrate, proteins and fat are required in large quantity. In our body, we require the nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, and proteins in large quantity. Now, you are knowing the energy which you are getting. Yes, it is coming out from the carbohydrates, the chapati, the rice which you eat. If you are lacking by this, if you are lacking carbohydrates, you will be also having less energy to perform the work. So, these nutrients are required in large quantity in our body, and that is why these nutrients are said to be as macronutrients. Now, minerals and vitamins are required in very small quantity. Whatever the vitamins are present and whatever the minerals are present, for example iron, calcium, vitamins such as A, B, C, vitamin D. Okay, so these vitamins which are required, they are required in very small quantity and they are said to be as micronutrients. Now, what is meant by the process nutrition? The process of taking in and using the food which takes place in the living organism is called as nutrition. The process in what? We are taking in the food in. We are taking the food in and using by the all living organism, or which is being used by all living organism, is called as nutrition. The process of taking in and using the food by all living organism is called as nutrition. So why there is need for nutrition? Why we require nutrition in our body? Yes, the needs are given below. Just see in the yellow color box. Yes, to supply the energy required for doing work, whatever the work you are doing, you require energy to do it. For example, if I have not gave you anything to eat and I have told you to perform 2 days continuously, your body will not support you to do that work. So we require energy to do the work. The growth and our development is also dependent upon this nutrient. Okay, to replace the damaged cell and repair them. For example, if you have fallen down, the skin comes out again in form of new skin. So that particular skin which is damaged, it is getting replaced by the new skin. So who is doing this work? Yes, the nutrients are doing this work, and it also gives us capacity to fight with diseases. They resist disease. Okay, so need for nutrition you have understood. Now what is meant by autotrophic nutrition and what is meant by heterotrophic? Autotrophic means what? Basically by the word itself we should understand the one who is doing their work on themselves, and heterotrophic means they are dependent on others. Now what is autotrophic? We will see. Some organisms can produce their own food and thus they nourish themselves. Some organisms, what they do? Yes, they produce their own food and they also nourish themselves. Nourish means they take care of themselves. They are said to be as autotrophic nutrition. For example, plants will be included in this. And heterotrophic means what? Some organisms depend on other organisms for food. For example, other plants and animals. They are said to be as heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, autotrophic means what? The one who are taking care of themselves and the one who are producing their own food. That organisms are said to be as heterotrophic nutrition, autotrophic nutrition, and the one which are dependent on other organisms, they are said to be as heterotrophic nutrition. Now, what are autotrophic plants? This was nutrition. The plants which prepare their own food are said to be as autotrophic. Now, how these plants can prepare food? What things are required? Yes, basically all plants require sunlight. Second thing, they require carbon dioxide. Okay, and now there is green color in these leaves. You can see the green color. Why the leaves are green in color? Yes, because they consist of chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll helps them in preparing the food. Now what is that process called as? Yes, the process is called as photosynthesis. In presence of sunlight, plants prepare their own food is called as photosynthesis. And because of this chlorophyll, the leaves are green in color. Fine. Now they have given you certain reaction that carbon dioxide plus water with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll, it gives out food to us and also oxygen. We are knowing that oxygen comes out in the process of food production by plants. Yes, they are taking in carbon dioxide and they are releasing out oxygen. Plants convert light energy into chemical energy and store in the form of food. What does these plants do? Yes, what they are doing? They are converting the light energy into chemical energy, and then they are preparing and then they are storing them in the form of food. Water, minerals and salts are absorbed by the roots from the soil. The stem transport them to the leaves. The leaves have microscopic opening. They are called as stomata, which they make in CO2 from the air. The chloroplast present in the leaves contain chlorophyll, which absorbs sunlight, helping to convert carbon dioxide and water into food. Oxygen is given out in the process. What they have told you over here, one thing that you remember, the roots are absorbing the nutrients and water and passing out to the stem. Stem does the work of transporting these all nutrients and water to remaining part of the plant. Then the leaves consist of microscopic opening. Small pores are present. They are said to be as stomata. Okay, and these stomata helps in releasing out helps in releasing out oxygen and absorbing carbon dioxide from the air. Beside leaves, photosynthesis takes place in some other parts like green stems too. Sometimes beside leaves also, sometimes photosynthesis process is taken in the different other parts of the plant. Okay. Now what is meant by the transport system in the plant? How water and the other things have been carried out, just see over here. Okay, you can see this plant in front of you. Yes, there are pink color arrows and there are also blue color arrows. Okay, so what are those? We will see. The transport system of the plant consists of xylem and phloem. What are xylem? Yes, the blue color one with arrows which you can see is the xylem, and pink color one is called as phloem. The transport system. Transport means what? The vehicles are not running over here. The food is carried and it is passed to the remaining parts of the plant, and vice versa. So this system, who is doing that work? Yes, the xylem and phloem. Xylem transports mineral and water from root to the aerial parts of the plant. What is xylem doing? Xylem is taking the roots, taking the minerals and water from the roots, and it is passing to the remaining parts of the plant. And phloem transport the food from the leaves to other parts of plant. And what is that phloem doing? Whatever the food is prepared in the leaves, it is taking to the remaining parts of the plant. So the works are given to you, it is specified. Xylem is transporting the minerals and water from root to the aerial part. Aerial part means the part which is present in air, the above one, above the soil. And phloem is taking, or it is passing the food to the remaining parts of the plant. Though the plants have transport system, they do not have a separate digestive or excretory system. They are having a transport system, but they don't have an excretory and digestive system. So keep this thing away from your mind. Okay. So what is chemosynthesis? Which plants produce their food by chemosynthesis? Chemosynthesis means what? Preparing food in the presence of hydrogen and methane. It is said to be as chemosynthesis. And which plants produce their food by chemosynthesis? It will be an activity or homework for you all. Okay. Plants produce carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. What does the plant produce? Yes, they are producing the carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. Carbohydrates are mainly made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. You can see in the word itself, it is combination of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Proteins are made from carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. What are proteins made from? Yes, it is made from carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. How do plants obtain nitrogen necessary for synthesis of protein? One thing they do, that air contains gaseous nitrogen, but that gaseous nitrogen cannot be used by plants because they are absorbing or they are taking carbon dioxide inside. So this nitrogen is fixed. Fixed means what? It is getting mixed with the soil, and this nitrogen is getting converted into nitrate, and that nitrate is useful, or it is being taken by the plants, and such a way nitrogen is helpful in preparing the food, or it can be also helpful in some of the plants. So fixation of nitrogen occurs by biological and atmospheric method. How is this nitrogen fixed? Yes, it can be done scientifically and it can be done atmospheric way also. First thing, that two different types of microorganisms can bring about the biological nitrogen fixation. What they can do? The root nodules of the leguminous plant contains the rhizobium microorganism. If you can see these leguminous plants such as groundnut and all, they consist of the rhizobium microorganism in them. These microorganisms absorb the atmospheric nitrogen. What they do? Whatever the nitrogen is present in the air, they do the work of absorbing it and converting it into nitrate. Just now I have told you. And that nitrate is later useful for them in preparing the food. Microorganisms like azotobacter are present in soil. They also helps to convert this atmospheric nitrogen into nitrate. Now, do you know one thing? How atmospheric fixation of nitrogen is done? Lightning occurs in the rainy season. We can see that there is lightning during the rainy season. This causes atmospheric nitrogen and oxygen to react with each other. So the nitrogen which is present in air, 78% is present, nitrogen is present, and oxygen, they are reacting with each other and they forms nitric oxide. What is formed? Nitrogen and oxygen, when they combines together, they are forming nitric oxide. The nitrogen dioxide, again this nitrogen oxide is oxidized. Oxidized means again there is addition of oxygen in it, and later this nitrogen oxide is getting converted into nitrogen dioxide. Here oxygen molecules are 2, that's why it is said to be as dioxide. Okay, first what happens, nitrogen and oxygen are combining, that time nitric oxide is formed, and later when again oxygen is added, it is forming nitrogen dioxide. The nitrogen dioxide dissolves in rainwater and is converted into nitric acid. This nitrogen, whenever the water is coming during the rainy season or thundering is going on, this nitrogen dioxide is getting mixed with the rainwater and is getting converted into nitric acid, which gets added to the soil along with the rainwater, and later this nitrogen which is getting added to the soil is useful for the plants. Okay, now we will later, for the next lecture, we are going to see the types of nutrition and how it is useful for the different particularly organisms. Okay, thank you.